dugsiyada al-irshaad schools.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Students and parents, I'm greeting you today. We are going to do our third and English online lessons. We are going to continue from where we were last time, inshallah. Okay, the last place we stopped was degrees of comparison. Last time we discussed about how to form the degrees of comparison. Remember, this we are talking about is how to form degrees of comparisons of adjectives. Last time we talked about their rules. I gave you some rules. There were 3 rules we discussed last time, our last lesson. So we were talking about single syllable adjectives, those words which have few single syllable adjective words, and those few adjectives of two syllables form their comparative and superlative degree. As we said, they form their comparative degrees by adding er, which is to the comparative, and est, which is to the superlative. As you can see, what did I say? What's the meaning of syllable? We said the meaning of syllable is a unit of pronunciation in a word. For example, which has a vowel sound. The shorter the word, the shorter the vowel sound. The shorter the syllable, the shorter the shorter the word, the shorter the syllable, and the shorter the syllable. For example, this one, this word has 1 syllable. Because it's you can see this word has 4 letters. So this word has 1 vowel sound, which is O. So it's pronounced as slow. It's going to be, you're going to add, as this rule applies, you're going to apply this rule, you're going to say slower. To the superlative, you're going to say slowest. And I hope you did these 2 I sent you last time as an exercise. This is going to be short. Here I suppose you're going to say shorter. And in the superlative, you're going to write as shortest. For this, I hope you wrote colder, and this one coldest. Our second rule was saying that 1 syllable adjectives, you're going to double the last consonant, and you're going to add er for the comparative, and you're going to add est to the superlative. As you can see in this sentence, this is the last consonant. This word is 1 syllable. It is 1 syllable adjective word because it has 1 vowel sound, thin, e, there is e there. So you're going to double n there. So it's going to be thin, thinner, thinnest, because you are going to apply this rule which is saying you're going to double the last consonant. You're going to double the last consonant letter. This one is the consonant letter here. This one is the last consonant letter there. You're going to double them, and then you're going to add er for the comparative and est for the superlative. I hope you did these 2. I suppose you did the 2, because this one you're going to do, just add the D. It's going to be madder, and then maddest. For this one, sad, for the positive degree. For the comparative, saddest, sadder, and for the superlative is going to be saddest. Our third rule was saying that the adjectives word which are ending with Y, you're going to, and Y follows a consonant. There is a consonant before Y. This is R. It's a consonant. So it's a consonant letter before R. And I said, as you can remember, I said that Y is also recognized as a vowel sound because it's pronounced as I. It's pronounced as E. Sorry. For example, now you say for their comparative and the superlative, you're going to change the Y into I. After you change Y into I, you're going to add ER to the comparative and EST to the superlative respectively. For example, this one is dry, there is I, and then you're going to remove the Y, you're going to add IER for the comparative, drier, and superlative is going to be driest. The same applies to this one. This is a 2 vowel sound. This is a two syllable word. It has he and V. So it's going to be heavier, heaviest. Just remove the Y. For all words I've written in this positive, you're going to remove the Y and just add IER for the comparative and IEST for the superlative. So I hope you did this one. Happy is going to be happier. Remove the Y and add I. So it's going to be happier. And for the superlative is going to be, you're going to add I here, I, and then you're going to add EST. It's going to be happiest. So today we are going to, our lesson of today will begin from there. Because last time we stopped for the 3rd rule. Today's lesson is going to begin from the 4th rule, which is going to say, says that some adjectives of 2 syllables, those are multi-syllable adjectives, or more than 2 syllables, take more and most. There are 2 words there. The other one, or the 1 syllable word we were using, are and est, which is est. For this one, you're going to use more for the comparative and most for the superlative, respectively. For example, this word is a multi-syllable word. It's a disyllabic word because it has 2 syllables. This is doubt and full, doubt, full. So it's going to be, for the comparative, you're going to use more. This is going to be more doubtful. For the superlative, it's going to be most doubtful, as I said before. Remember this point: more for the comparative, most for the superlative. This word is beautiful. It is a multisyllabic word because it has 3 syllables. Because it has beautiful, beautiful. There are 3 syllables. So you cannot say beautifuler and beautifulest. That's not possible. That's not English. You're going to say more beautiful and most beautiful. The rest, they are the same as the other one, which I've said. Difficult, 3 syllable word, difficult. This is going to be more difficult and most difficult. Powerful, 3 syllable. There are 3 syllable. Powerful. This is going to be more powerful and most powerful. I hope you're going to do this. You're going to do the rest. Dangerous, that's 3 syllables. You're going to add more to the comparative. It's going to be more dangerous, and the superlative is going to be most dangerous. Let's go to the next slide. The next slide is irregular. This is another rule which is saying irregular adjectives. So there are the other ones which we are talking about, the are which are taking the comparative form, are and est for the superlative, and more and most. This is a different case because we have an irregular adjectives. Let's check what's the meaning of irregular adjectives. These are small number of adjectives that make different comparative and superlative form, not like the regular where er and est is added to 1 syllable and more and most added to more than 2 syllables. So this is a different case. You can see this sentence, this paragraph is saying that the 1 syllables we were adding are and est for the comparative and superlative respectively, and more and most for the multisyllabic, we are going to add more and most. So irregular, we neither use are and we neither use est, nor we use more and most. We don't use any of this to the comparative and superlative. So as you can see, this one, the first word I've used this adjective word good in the positive. For the comparative, it's going to be better, and for the superlative, it's going to be best. So it's irregular. This one, the other word is bad. It's an adjective word. For the comparative, it's going to be worse, and for the superlative, it's going to be worst. Note the difference. This is worse, and this is going to be worst. This is much and many, much or many. For the positive, for the comparative, it's going to be more, and for the superlative, it's going to be most. Little, comparative is going to be less, superlative is going to be least. Old, oftenly they use older, or oftenly they use elder and eldest. So sometimes not that frequently they use older and oldest. So you have to note this one. Okay, the other one, late, positive, comparative is going to be later and latest, or later and last. As you can see, far, a positive word, adjective. Comparative is going to be farther and or farther. For the superlative is going to be farthest or farthest. Okay, now let's do a summary of the adjective of the degrees of comparison. As you can see this picture, happy, happier, happiest, good, better, best, useful, more useful because it has two syllable, which is use and full. More useful, you add more to the comparative, and most to the superlative, the most useful. And there's the. You remember I told you are going to use the before the adjective. This is young, younger, youngest. You can read the rest. This is for the summary. Now let's do the next one. The next slide is the exercise. I'm going to leave you with an exercise which you're going to do. This exercise, you have to do it. It's practical. You have to do it as a practice to make you perfect, because you will get this kind of questions. You can get such kind of questions in your final exams. Okay, let's check. Use the degree of comparison in the following sentence. For example, the first one is already did for you. My dog is fast. This is an adjective. This is an adjective there. Your dog. So they want you to use this adjective. There are two dogs here. This is my dog and this is your dog. You are told use the adjective of comparative adjective. You are going to use the comparative degree in this sentence. How are you going to do so? Use this word in the bracket. You're given this adjective in the bracket, and you're going to make a comparative. You're going to make a comparative degree. For example, this one is going to be my dog is faster. Fast becomes in comparative is going to be faster, and then you're going to add than. My dog is faster than your dog because there are two things there. There is one dog which is mine, and there is another dog which is yours. Okay, for these two sentences, the rest of the sentence from number 2 to number 6, you're going to do it in your exercise book, just the same as I did in the first sentence. The second one, Muhammad Ali was there. The word in brackets, which is an adjective word, great boxer of the 20th century. So you're told use the superlative degree. I suppose I hope you're going to do very well. If you understood very well, if you understood the degrees of comparison, and I repeat, and I will repeat again and again, that these degrees of comparison, they are very serious topics. These are very, very serious topics which are mostly brought in the exams, so you have to focus on them. You have to repeat them again and again to understand better. Thank you so much, and I hope you understood the lesson.
dugsiyada al irshaad schools